The origins of Los Zetas trace back to the late 1990s, when the Mexican Gulf Cartel sought to strengthen its grip on the drug trade. To achieve this, they turned to an unlikely source, the Mexican military. Specifically, they recruited elite soldiers from the Mexican Army's Special Forces, known for their rigorous training and advanced combat skills. These soldiers, who had once pledged to serve and protect their country, found themselves seduced by the lucrative offers from the Gulf Cartel. Promises of wealth and power led them to abandon their posts and embrace a new, darker role. The cartel needed enforcers who could outgun and outmaneuver their rivals, and these former soldiers were the perfect candidates. With their unique skill set, these ex-military operatives brought a new level of brutality and efficiency to the cartel's operations. They were adept at tactical planning, guerrilla warfare, and advanced weaponry. This military precision allowed Los Zetas to dominate their rivals, making them one of the most feared criminal organizations in Mexico. Their shift from law enforcement to cartel enforcers marked a significant turning point in the Mexican drug war. The very individuals who had been trained to combat crime were now perpetuating it, using their expertise to instill terror and maintain control. This transformation from soldiers to cartel enforcers laid the foundation for the bloody and violent legacy of Los Zetas. As we delve deeper into their impact on Mexico, it becomes clear that their military origins gave them a distinct and deadly edge over other criminal organizations. The alliance between the Gulf Cartel and Los Zetas was a match forged in blood and ambition. Faced with the need to protect their drug routes and expand their operations, the Gulf Cartel turned to these former soldiers for their unmatched combat prowess. This deadly partnership was not merely about protection, it was about domination. Los Zetas quickly became the enforcers of the Gulf Cartel, responsible for securing drug corridors, intimidating rivals, and ensuring loyalty through fear. They employed ruthless methods to maintain control, from brutal executions and torture to strategic assassinations. Their military training allowed them to operate with a level of sophistication and brutality that was unprecedented in the world of organized crime. As enforcers, Los Zetas set up checkpoints, conducted raids, and executed complex ambushes. They were not just foot soldiers, they were strategists who planned and executed operations with military precision. This allowed the Gulf Cartel to expand its influence and control over key territories, making them one of the most powerful cartels in Mexico. But this alliance was a double-edged sword. While it brought immense power and control, it also introduced a new level of violence and terror that would forever change the landscape of the Mexican drug war. The partnership between the Gulf Cartel and Los Zetas was a catalyst for chaos, setting off a chain of events that led to some of the bloodiest conflicts in the region's history. As we move forward, the impact of this deadly partnership on Mexico becomes even more apparent, shaping the future of the drug trade and leaving a legacy of violence that still echoes today. The partnership between the Gulf Cartel and Los Zetas was bound to fracture under the weight of ambition and greed. The turning point came when Los Zetas, driven by their thirst for power and control, decided to break away and form their own cartel. This decision marked the beginning of one of the most brutal and bloody chapters in Mexico's drug war history. Los Zetas, with their military training and ruthless tactics, were no longer content to be mere enforcers. They saw an opportunity to carve out their own empire, and they seized it. The split was not amicable. It led to a violent power struggle that plunged Mexico into chaos. The once unified force turned against itself, and a brutal war erupted between Los Zetas and the Gulf Cartel. This war was characterized by unprecedented levels of violence. Both sides employed extreme measures, including mass killings, public executions, and gruesome displays of power meant to instill fear and assert dominance. The streets of Mexico became battlegrounds, and innocent civilians often found themselves caught in the crossfire. Towns and cities were turned into war zones, and the death toll rose as the conflict dragged on. Los Zetas used their military expertise to conduct sophisticated attacks on Gulf Cartel strongholds, while the Gulf Cartel fought back with equal ferocity. The brutality of the conflict shocked the world and highlighted the devastating impact of the drug trade on Mexico. The war between Los Zetas and the Gulf Cartel left a trail of destruction in its wake, with communities torn apart and lives shattered. The split not only intensified the violence, but also led to the fragmentation of the drug trade. Smaller factions emerged, each vying for control of lucrative drug routes and territories. The resulting chaos made it even more challenging for Mexican authorities to combat the cartels and restore order. The legacy of this brutal war continues to haunt Mexico. It serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of ambition and the high cost of the drug trade. As we delve deeper into the impact of these events, we see how the ripple effects of this conflict have shaped the present and will continue to influence the future of Mexico. As Los Zetas established themselves as an independent cartel, their reign of terror became synonymous with brutality. Their military background gave them an edge, and they employed tactics that were not only effective, but also horrifyingly ruthless. Their violence was not just a means to an end, it was a message, one that would echo through the streets of Mexico and beyond. One of the most chilling tactics used by Los Zetas was their penchant for public executions. These were not just killings, they were spectacles designed to instill fear. In one infamous incident, 49 decapitated bodies were found along a highway in Nuevo León. The message was clear: defy us, and this could be you. The gruesome display shocked the world and underscored the lengths to which Los Zetas would go to maintain their grip on power. Mass killings also became a hallmark of their reign. The massacre of 72 migrants in San Fernando, Tamaulipas, is one such atrocity. These innocent lives were brutally snuffed out, a stark reminder that no one was safe from the cartel's wrath. The migrants, hoping for a better life, found themselves caught in the deadly web of the drug trade, their dreams ending in a nightmarish reality. Los Zetas were also known for their use of torture, both as a method of extracting information and as a tool of terror. Victims were often subjected to unimaginable pain before being killed, their bodies left as warnings to others. The cartel's use of social media to broadcast their brutality added a new dimension to their terror tactics, spreading fear far and wide. One of the most notorious leaders of Los Zetas, Miguel Treviño, or Z40, epitomized this brutality. Under his command, the cartel's reign of terror reached new heights. Treviño was known for his sadistic methods, including the use of Los Zetas' signature torture techniques, which involved extreme physical and psychological torment. His capture in 2013 marked a significant blow to the cartel, but the legacy of his brutality continued to cast a long shadow. The impact of Los Zetas' tactics was devastating. Communities were torn apart, and the social fabric of Mexico was left in tatters. The fear they instilled paralyzed entire regions, making it nearly impossible for authorities to restore order. Innocent civilians, caught in the crossfire, bore the brunt of the violence, their lives forever changed by the cartel's reign of terror. As we move forward, it is crucial to remember these dark chapters in Mexico's history. The brutality of Los Zetas serves as a grim reminder of the destructive power of the drug trade and the human cost of unchecked violence. Understanding these tactics is essential to comprehending the full impact of the cartel's actions and the ongoing struggle to bring peace and justice to Mexico. As Los Zetas solidified their power within Mexico, their ambitions soon stretched beyond the country's borders. Their military precision and ruthless efficiency were not confined to Mexican soil. They aimed to become a significant player on the global stage. This expansion marked a new chapter in their criminal enterprise, one that would see them involved in international drug trafficking, human smuggling, and arms smuggling. Los Zetas' reach into the United States was particularly notable. They established extensive networks to traffic narcotics across the border, flooding American streets with drugs like cocaine, methamphetamine, and heroin. Their operations were highly organized, utilizing advanced logistics and sophisticated smuggling techniques. This cross-border trade brought them immense profits and an ever-expanding influence. But drugs were just one facet of their international operations. Los Zetas also became heavily involved in human trafficking, exploiting vulnerable individuals for profit. They established routes that extended into Central and South America, using violence and coercion to control their human cargo. The human cost of these operations was staggering, with countless lives torn apart by the cartel's merciless trade. Arms smuggling was another crucial element of Los Zetas' global operations. Their military background gave them the knowledge and connections to acquire and distribute high-powered weaponry. These arms were not only used to fortify their own forces, but were also sold to other criminal organizations, further fueling violence both within and outside of Mexico. One of the most alarming aspects of Los Zetas' global reach was their ability to forge alliances with other criminal organizations. They collaborated with gangs and cartels in various countries, creating a network of crime that spanned continents. These partnerships allowed them to expand their influence and operations, making them a formidable force in the global underworld. Despite facing significant challenges from law enforcement agencies worldwide, Los Zetas' international operations underscored their adaptability and determination. Their global reach amplified the impact of their brutality, spreading fear and violence far beyond Mexico's borders. The expansion of Los Zetas into international markets is a testament to the far-reaching consequences of organized crime. It highlights the interconnectedness of global criminal networks and the challenges faced by authorities in combating such pervasive threats. As we delve into the impact of Los Zetas on Mexico, it is crucial to remember that their influence extends much further, affecting communities and nations around the world. As Los Zetas expanded their influence, the cartel underwent significant internal changes that would shape its future. At the heart of these changes was the rise of one of its most notorious leaders, Miguel Ángel Treviño Morales, better known as Z40. Treviño's ascent to power was marked by a ruthless and violent leadership style. He was infamous for his brutality, using fear as a tool to maintain control both within the cartel and over rival organizations. Under his reign, Los Zetas became synonymous with extreme violence, including mass killings, public executions, and gruesome displays intended to terrorize communities. But Treviño's leadership was not without challenges. The internal power struggles within Los Zetas were fierce, with various factions vying for control. These conflicts often led to violent confrontations, further destabilizing the cartel. Treviño's ability to navigate these internal disputes demonstrated his strategic acumen and ruthless determination. Despite his fearsome reputation, Treviño's reign was also a period of significant operational changes for Los Zetas. He implemented new strategies to enhance the cartel's efficiency and expand its criminal enterprises. However, the constant power struggles and internal betrayals took a toll on the organization's stability. The capture of Treviño in 2013 marked a turning point for Los Zetas. His arrest dealt a significant blow to the cartel's leadership structure, leading to further fragmentation and infighting. The loss of such a dominant leader created a power vacuum, resulting in increased violence as various factions fought for supremacy. Miguel Treviño's legacy is one of unparalleled brutality and strategic cunning. His rise to power and subsequent fall highlight the volatile nature of cartel leadership and the ongoing struggles that plague such criminal organizations. As we explore the impact of Los Zetas on Mexico, it's essential to understand the internal dynamics that have shaped their history and continue to influence their operations. Stay tuned as we delve into the broader impact of Los Zetas on Mexico in the next chapter. As Los Zetas' reign of terror escalated, the Mexican government recognized the urgent need to dismantle this highly organized and militarized cartel. The response was swift and multifaceted, involving a combination of military operations, intelligence efforts, and international collaboration. In the early 2000s, the Mexican military launched several high-profile operations targeting Los Zetas' strongholds. These operations, often involving elite special forces, aim to capture or eliminate key leaders and disrupt the cartel's operations. However, the Zetas' military training and strategic acumen made them formidable adversaries, capable of countering government forces with sophisticated tactics. Recognizing the transnational nature of Los Zetas' activities, Mexico also sought assistance from the United States. Joint task forces were established, combining the resources and expertise of both nations to combat the cartel more effectively. These collaborative efforts included intelligence sharing, coordinated raids, and the targeting of financial networks that supported the cartel's operations. Despite these efforts, the government faced significant challenges in its war against Los Zetas. The cartel's deep infiltration into local law enforcement and political institutions often hampered operations. Corruption and fear within these ranks provided Los Zetas with advance warnings of government actions, allowing them to evade capture and regroup. Moreover, the brutal retaliation against government forces and civilians alike created a climate of fear, complicating efforts to gain the support and cooperation of local communities. The Zetas' ability to instill terror and maintain control over territories through violence and intimidation made them a persistent threat. The capture of key leaders, including Miguel Treviño, Z40, marked significant victories for the government. However, the fragmentation of the cartel led to infighting and the rise of splinter groups, perpetuating the cycle of violence. As we examine the impact of Los Zetas on Mexico, it's crucial to understand the ongoing battle between the government and this notorious cartel. The struggle to dismantle Los Zetas highlights the complexities and challenges of combating organized crime in a landscape fraught with corruption and violence. Stay tuned as we delve into the broader impact of Los Zetas on Mexico in the next chapter. As the Mexican government intensified its efforts against Los Zetas, the capture and death of major cartel leaders marked significant turning points in the battle. One of the first major blows came with the death of Heriberto Lazcano, also known as Z3. In October 2012, Lazcano was killed in a firefight with the Mexican Navy in the state of Coahuila. Known for his ruthlessness and strategic mind, Lazcano's death was a crippling loss for Los Zetas. His removal from power disrupted the cartel's command structure and sowed seeds of discord among its members. The most significant capture came in July 2013, when Mexican authorities apprehended Miguel Treviño, also known as Z40. Treviño had been one of the most feared and brutal leaders of Los Zetas. His capture was the result of a meticulously planned operation involving intelligence gathered from both Mexican and U.S. agencies. Treviño was known for his extreme violence and was responsible for numerous atrocities, including mass executions and torture. His arrest was celebrated as a major victory in the fight against organized crime. The fall of these key leaders initiated a chain reaction within the cartel. With their leadership decapitated, infighting and power struggles erupted among the remaining members. Various factions vied for control, leading to further fragmentation of the once cohesive organization. This internal turmoil weakened Los Zetas' operational capabilities and diminished their influence over territories they once dominated. Despite these successes, the struggle against Los Zetas was far from over. The cartel's splinter groups continued to operate, and the violence persisted. However, the capture and death of leaders like Lazcano and Treviño were crucial steps in dismantling the cartel's power structure. These events highlighted the importance of targeted operations and international collaboration in combating organized crime. As we reflect on the impact of Los Zetas on Mexico, it is essential to recognize the ongoing challenges and the resilience of the communities affected by their reign of terror. Join us in the next chapter as we examine the broader implications of Los Zetas' activities on Mexican society and the enduring legacy of their violence. The capture of key leaders like Heriberto Lazcano and Miguel Treviño marked significant victories against Los Zetas, but their legacy of terror continues to haunt Mexico. The aftermath of their reign has left deep scars across the nation, both physically and emotionally. Mass graves have been uncovered, revealing the extent of their brutality. Families are still searching for loved ones who disappeared during the cartel's reign of terror. The psychological toll on communities is immeasurable, as the fear and trauma inflicted by Los Zetas linger on. The power vacuum left by the fall of Los Zetas has led to the rise of new cartels, eager to seize control of the lucrative drug trade. This has resulted in ongoing violence and instability as these emerging groups vie for dominance. Despite the setbacks, there are glimmers of hope. Communities are coming together to rebuild and heal. The Mexican government, along with international partners, continues to combat organized crime, striving to bring justice to the victims and restore peace. As we reflect on the impact of Los Zetas, we must remember the resilience of the Mexican people. Their strength and determination to overcome this dark chapter in history is a testament to their enduring spirit. Join us in the next chapter as we delve deeper into the broader implications of Los Zetas' activities on Mexican society and the enduring legacy of their violence. The fall of Los Zetas marked a turning point in Mexico's battle against organized crime. But what does the future hold for the country's war on cartels? The dismantling of Los Zetas created a power vacuum that has been quickly filled by other criminal organizations. Groups like the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and the Sinaloa Cartel have risen to prominence, adopting many of the militarized tactics that Los Zetas pioneered. These new cartels, much like Los Zetas, employ former military personnel, using advanced weaponry and brutal tactics to assert control. The violence continues to escalate, with communities caught in the crossfire. However, it's not all bleak. The Mexican government, with the support of international allies, is continually adapting its strategies to combat these evolving threats. Increased intelligence sharing, targeted operations, and community outreach programs are part of a multifaceted approach to restore order. The legacy of Los Zetas has undoubtedly shaped the landscape of organized crime in Mexico. Yet, the resilience and determination of the Mexican people provide a glimmer of hope. As they continue to rebuild and heal, there is a growing movement to address the root causes of cartel violence, such as poverty and corruption. As we move forward, the fight against organized crime in Mexico remains a complex and ongoing challenge. But with continued efforts and the enduring spirit of its people, there is hope for a future where peace and justice prevail. The story of Los Zetas is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of organized crime on society. As we look to the future, it is crucial to learn from the past and work towards a safer, more just world. Thank you for watching.